Tanisha's Beauty Supply, beauty power and style, power and style. Tanisha's Beauty Supply, beauty power and style, power and style. Got whatever you need.
I'll take you into my store here in Chicago Heights, Illinois. And today I want us to focus on some of the organization that I've been doing in my store. So as I promised, I'll take you through my journey of moving my store from Michigan and opening my store here. And it's still in the early stages of business here. When you move from one state to the other, it's basically starting over. So I started over with my marketing, started over with my location. I am building a customer base here. So I'm going to take you on the inside so you can see what building looks like here in Chicago Heights, Illinois. It's April 2025 and we are all feeling the chaos, the disappointment in our world right now. Should I even keep this open? Should I just shut down and hunker down? Or focus on emergency stashes? Of course you need to do that. You need to have that ready. You do need to be as ready as you can. But I was just thinking on my way into my business, you know who's not stopping in the business area? Who's not gonna stop opening businesses? Who's not gonna stop investing money? Who's not gonna stop growing enterprise? Is those same white folks who are slashing monuments, disrespecting our people, turning our country upside down. They are actually going above and beyond to get more money, to get more industry, to get more businesses. My chapter of videos that I'm going to be focusing on is using your business as a weapon in the African American community. How can we use our businesses?
Help us get to 10,000 subscribers. Hit the like button. Share the video with other small business owners.
To fight back, to make sure that we stay strong. And that's what I'm focusing on, is using my business. So I'm pulling in to the parking lot of my business. I'm gonna park over here. I am over here in this corner, that corner with the dark black sign. So I'm next door to a laundromat, Busy Bees, and it's black owned as well. But this is my store here in the corner. Tanisha's Beauty Supply. I usually have wigs sitting out here. Hey, what up? So I'm in Tanisha's Beauty Supply, my Chicago Heights store, and I'll show you a little bit of how I have things organized in here. So right here, when you first walk in, I still have to put some items up here up top. I have the vinyl gloves, I have hair bows. I am gonna have some more slat wall put down here. We're still working on this store. Hair beads, ribbons, barrettes. This stuff that is really close to the door right here is like 99-cent items. I don't want to have to worry about something valuable walking out the door without us noticing it. So everything over here is really low priced. What we've done recently is began to organize this wall. Our son helped me out with this. That's one of the benefits of having your own business, is you can hire your family. What he did was take colors and put them in a row going all the way up the wall. So these are going to be your yellow and oranges. And then this row here is going to be your red. So you have your red hair balls, your red ribbons, beads, red barrettes. So anything red is going to be this row here. And as I expand and get more products, because I am doing this virtually out of my own pocket, then I'll just keep adding. And so this row of red will eventually become 2 rows or 3 rows of red. And then this is going to be, of course, your black row. And then the blues, the pink. So the goal is to go up and down the row with the same color so that it's easy for customers to shop your multicolor row, your clear, your white. So that's the organization that we're working on. We're not done yet. As you can see, there's some space up there. And Easter is coming. Resurrection Day is coming soon. So I'm hoping to really have all the colors
that our customers are going to want for their kids' hair. Then over here, I'm still working on this stand here. I'm missing some of my unit pieces that would go there. But this here, I have not done anything with that. I'm still working on that. But I decided to put the rubber bands over here. So this was gonna be our small rubber band. Don't worry about having everything perfect in your business, especially if you work a day job. It's gonna take time. And sometimes you gotta be okay with things not being all the way together. So on this side is my head wraps, and they're kind of color coded. And then these are gonna be multi, so this should be over some here. And then you have the scarves, and then it continues over here where you have scarves. And if you are interested in any head wraps, I'm also going to be adding those to our online store. So no matter where you live, you can order your head wrap to be delivered to your house. This here is not a wig. I put her over here to advertise some of our headbands that we have. I want you to know you don't have to feel stressed or panicked that you don't have all of the products you need, because if you're starting with your own money, you're not going to start with a full store. You just got to be able to maintain until you can build up your customer base. And I've done this before, so I know how it works. You have to be patient and you have to work your tail off to build that customer base up, or every 2 weeks you build more product. So this section, I'm gonna make this part here for rollers and bobby pins. And you'll notice that the cheaper items or the less expensive items, you'll notice that I'm kind of putting them toward the door. Now these aren't all that cheap. That's why they're kind of in the eye view of the register, checkout register. And then you'll notice over here, that's outside of the eye view of the checkout register. That's why rubber bands are on this side. So it's strategic. So when you're putting your store together, just got to be strategic. My earrings, some of my earrings I had over here hanging on this wall here, this grid wall stand, but I didn't like it. I don't think it does anything for the jewelry. I like the way the jewelry looks when it's on the wall instead. It just stands out better. So there's two places that I like the jewelry. I like it on the wall. These earrings just look so much better on the wall. And you know what else I like, business community? I like the jewelry not being in the plastic bags, the plastic wraps. It cheapens it. So look at how this looks. It's the same pair of earrings outside of the plastic wrap. And then look at these. See the difference? So I'm in the midst of taking all of my earrings out of the plastic wraps and letting them hang. They have more of an elegant, more expensive look. You'll see these studs that are in here, and they look so beautiful in this case because the jewelry case is lit up. So these earrings in here, these studs are only $1.99, but they look expensive because they're in the jewelry case under the light. And so some of my other earrings that are blingy that might be $4.99 or $7.99, I have them in the jewelry case. I have nice necklaces in here. Those are the two places that I like jewelry for my store. I like it on the wall and I like it in the jewelry case. I'm in the process of reorganizing everything. So far, my press-on nails, I have them here on the wall, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep this arrangement, because right above that is a shelf that has the lash glue on it and it has lashes. But I think I'm gonna end up with the lashes going all the way up and down the wall like I did with the barrettes. And I think the press-on nails, I'm gonna do the same thing. More expensive press-on nails way at the top, lower price press-on nails at the bottom, because I'm not liking this arrangement. I'm just not liking it. Redoing this whole wall. This rack here is also being revamped. The combs are still going to stay on this rack, but I'm not happy with how they're organized. So my entire store, as you can see, I'm going through an entire overhaul. I'm creating a kids area where all the kid products, everything that has to do with children is going to be in one area. So as you can see, like my relaxer, some of my relaxer is over here. And my relaxers, I used to have all the kids relaxers mixed in with the adult relaxers in the same relaxer area. But I decided, you know what? Let's move all the kids stuff to one area. And with organization, I decided to put the ponytails here. This may not be the best placement for them, so I'm gonna have to figure that out. And also I'm gonna have to have more slat wall, and I've got plenty of slat wall. It's just in one of my storage units back in Michigan. Once I get more slat wall coming up and down here, then I'll be able to probably move some of my wigs, my human wigs, down some, and then I can put all of the ponytails over here some kind of way. If I could, and then go up the wall a little bit with the ponytails. If I could move some of my human wigs, maybe the shorter human wigs will move down here once I get more slat wall up. As you can see, I'm gonna need slat wall here because I can hang more products. This space is about 1,200 square feet, 1,400 square feet. Pretty small for a beauty supply store, but I am a master creative when it comes to finding places to put things. Don't be nervous about how you first start out. As you can see, my stuff is not together and it's been 8 months. It's a process. And that's what I want to stress in this video, business bosses, is that it is a process. One of these glass shelves, originally I had it over here behind the counter and I had products up there. I didn't like the way it was. I'm also rearranging this wall. This is my human hair wall, my bundles, my human hair packs. As you already know, they're back here so they don't just walk out the door. I knew that the space was small. And I'm gonna show y'all, I really said no to this space at first. Here's because I don't like corner spaces. The space that I really wanted, you see that restaurant there, Big Boy? Pretty bright out here with the sun, but you'll probably see Big Boy right there. So there's an empty space right next to Big Boy's, and then there's the Nail City. I wanted the space right next to Big Boy's. I ended up over here choosing this space over here, and I'm gonna show you why. So let me take you in and show you why I chose this space over here. Okay. I chose this space over here because you see this flooring. This is travertine flooring. You see this unit that has the shelves and the slat wall in the middle, black, and then this shelving unit and the slat wall there. This shelving unit, all of that was already here. Look at this, y'all. This shelving unit, all of that already here. The space across the parking lot, it was a little bit bigger, but it would have cost thousands and thousands of dollars to renovate. So I like the location over there better, but for where my budget was, I just didn't have that kind of money to do the needed renovations. And the landlord wasn't willing to do any renovations. Sometimes, everybody, you gotta start small. My whole journey with beauty supply has been growing a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger, because I'm doing it on my own. I didn't get $80,000, $150,000 loan to start. I've done all of this out of me and my family's own pocket. There's been a few little loans here, nothing over $10,000 here and there. But everything has been out of me and my family's own pocket. Using your own money, you're gonna have a different look. So that's why I chose this spot. I didn't really have to do any renovations. The only thing I had to do was really just get the slat wall hung to where I needed it to be hung. This counter you see here, this counter, you see how long this counter is? And then underneath their storage space, I'll show you. See under here, storage spaces. And then it's one over here. See this glass? This is bulletproof glass. This store was renovated to be a smoke shop, tobacco store. But the story is he could not get his business license from the city of Chicago Heights, and he ended up having to abandon the project. So it had sat for a number of years, but it was already renovated. I just take that as a blessing from the Lord. I'm gonna work with it. So much I want to do, and I'm gonna keep bringing you videos of changes that I'm making. Said although we're in the back corner, not where I want it to be, and the rent would have been higher than the rent here. Maybe I wouldn't be in business anymore, because I think about that rent versus this rent, and it would have been a struggle because you have to build your customer base up. So paying any kind of higher rent would have been a struggle for me. Did I make the right decision? I always just pray and ask God to lead and guide me. But sometimes it's a journey where you have to go on that journey. And just like the store in Michigan, y'all, when I moved to my own spot on the main street, I had to move. I had to leave after 2 years because I realized there was not enough African Americans in that area. Although it was 40% African Americans, that was not enough for the foot traffic that I needed. Now, it felt very safe and comfortable. I will give it that. But it was not enough population of African Americans, Latino Americans, the people who would buy my product. 40% was just not enough. Maybe it was just also the strip mall, the little strip mall I was in, it didn't have other businesses that were booming and bringing constant foot traffic. Restaurants bringing foot traffic. There were no restaurants there. That could have been the missing piece as well. You have to give yourself a chance to learn, and don't beat yourself up for learning. You're learning. If you don't have generations of people who have been in business, then you're learning, and it's okay. If you want to participate in the next beauty supply class, just go to my website, TanishasBeautySupply.com, and you can join the class where other people will be asking specific questions about their beauty supply journey. You'll be able to learn from their questions. You'll be able to hear more direct answers, more direct experience, and make sure you bring your favorite cup of joe, whether that's coffee or tea or smoothies. Make sure you bring your favorite drink to the class. It's going to be virtual as of April 2025. Our next class is April the 26th, 2025 at 9:00 a.m. Central Standard Time. Tanisha's Beauty Supply. Thanks for joining, everybody. Let's fight back with our businesses.